Osmanthus wine.
Shut up, Zhongli. Shut up. I don't want to hear you talk. What's good, everybody? It's Quintessential Q back with another video today. And today is an unfortunate day, man. Because I gotta go in on our boy Zhongli. Why do I gotta go in on our boy Zhongli? Basically, for lack of a better word, he's ass. He's ass. In the current state that Zhongli is in, he sucks. And I know there's people out there, there's content creators out there that are like, oh, well, that's because everyone expected him to be a DPS. He's a support. He's a fantastic No, he's not. Let's stop lying to the people. No, he's not. He's an okay support. He is a okay primary physical damage DPS. He's okay. He's not good. He's not great. He's not broken. He is okay. And it hurts because you see this, and then you can go into the kick move, into the teleport and spears, summon these constructs that resonate with geo energy and can resonate with other geo constructs around it. But he's ass, bro, and it sucks because watch the damage, the damage that's about hot, the hot damage, right? Did you miss? Do you miss one? Do you miss the second one though? Of course we don't. We don't miss those. Look at the damage going stupid, going crazy, going dumb. He's half health already. I don't even know how the enemy's still alive. Crazy, right? Crazy, right? Damage going stupid. Anyway, Zhongli is very
solidified.
Shield didn't come up in time. And Zhongli is very lackluster in basically everything that he does. Just because, I mean, there's no reason to. He doesn't really feel any role right now to a high level. And I'm just playing around with this dumbass fucking news guardian. But he doesn't feel any of his roles to a high degree. Do you see this energy recharge? I'm just using his skill alone to just show you how slow his recharge is, just with his skill. Just with his skill. I had to cast that multiple times to get energy back. Now, granted, you're supposed to combo with other skills, and it would be a little bit faster comboing with other skills. But the thing is, even with that, the damage that I was getting was lackluster. Very lackluster. For someone that we assumed was going to be, is he chasing me? Can you leave me alone? Can you not go back? Go away. Anyway, the damage is very lackluster for someone who we assumed was going to be more of a Geo DPS that synergized with other Geo characters. And he could have been a Geo support character as well that synergize with other Geo support characters. But the thing is, he's not even the best Geo support character. Ningguang still outdoes him as a Geo support. Ningguang is a better Geo support just overall and is a better support in Noel Geo comps. The Geo MC is definitely better as a backup support for Noel and Geo comps than Zhongli is as well. And it sucks to say because, again, he got all this. He got this, he got the this, and to the that, and then to the drop in the meteor. He on his Madara shit, right? Just dropping meteors for no reason. But Zhongli is a classic example of all flash but no sauce, man. All flash and no sauce. And that's the problem. As in Zhongli's current state, he don't have no sauce. He might got the juice. He might got the juice, you feel me? Cause this is the juice. This is the juice, right? But he don't got no sauce, man. And like a wise man once said,
juice is temporary. You know, anyone can obtain the juice or something. I mean, you could say that just because you got a nice car, so I'm like, oh man, you got the juice. You know, it's something that kind of comes and goes. The sauce. The sauce is forever.
But let's try to look on the bright sides of Zhongli, right? Let's try to look on the bright side of Zhongli. What can he do in his current state? What can he do? He's a okay physical DPS. He's serviceable as a primary physical DPS. Serviceable. But that's because of Crescent Pike. Not because, and I guess it's a mixture of Crescent Pike and that this kick move right here can be canceled. Like you can jump cancel it. Like that. And that like you can keep like doing this like rotation of his basic. Oops, I fucked it up right there. But you can do this rotation of his basic and, you know, with like Crescent Pike active get like mad damage, right? And then you put him on a superconduct team and the damage is going stupid, right? You would pair him with like official. I wouldn't recommend Chung Young because then his basics become physical. His basics become ice instead of just remaining physical. But like a Chi-Chi or a Diona would be great with him. Unfortunately, I didn't pull on the banner with Diona in it. I wish I would have for at least Diona, so I got one Diona, but I didn't. I was wrapped up in Godfall and a couple other games, so I really wasn't playing Genshin Impact at the time. So I missed out on that banner. Unfortunate for me. Double unfortunate for me, because I also could have picked up Ningguang. It had a better geo support than fucking Zhongli over here, but it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. And I'm sure since they're 4-star characters, they're gonna pop up on another banner anyway, so who cares? But there's not, he doesn't really serve too well as a physical DPS just because he gets outdone by Zhongli, he gets outdone by Razor, who is on the same banner as he is. He gets outdone by all these 4-star characters. He's not good as a support because, like I said, he gets outdone by Ningguang. If we're just going over overall supports, he gets outdone by Venti. He gets outdone by Xingshu, gets outdone by Bennett. He gets outdone by a lot of characters that can do a support, that can fulfill a support role better than he can. He gets outdone by Fischl. Fischl's right sitting right there. Like a lot of characters that are, a lot of them being 4 stars, just outdo him in the support role. He really doesn't really feel that great. His basic attack chain does less damage than Zhongli does as far as like the base hits go. It's especially if you're trying to get constellations for Zhongli, it's definitely easier to get constellations for Zhongli than it's going to be for Zhongli. And it's just like I said, he's all juice, no sauce, bro. Like crumble. All this is just juice, not sauce, bro. No sauce. So he has 0 sauce in his entire kit. Like 0 sauce. Now, what could we do? Because I recommend that he gets buffed. In some way, shape, or form, he gets buffed. That way, we can give him the sauce. So, what would I recommend to give him the sauce? there's a couple things. There's a couple things either that can help him be more of a better support or more of a better DPS. I know there was leaks about his ult basically making it so that enemies get a debuff that allowed your characters to do more physical damage and more geo damage. Obviously, as of the current state of the game, he does not have that, but I feel like that should be a thing. If it was intended to be a thing but it was taken out, I think it should be put back. If it wasn't an intended thing and was never meant to be in this kit, I think it should be put into his kit because he needs it. He needs it. He would very much benefit from it, because then the geo damage, because if you don't know, when you petrify someone with your ult, you can do his hold E and then explode those the petrified enemies, because now they count as geo constructs. And then on top of that, if you have other geo constructs around, like the pillar or like the meteors from GeoMC or Ningguang Shield or whatever, and they're all like petrified enemies, you can do the hold E and resonate with all that shit, and boom, just extra damage. So if we're doing a more support focused role, I think that would be more beneficial, because maybe along the lines we get, well, you can use Noelle. Actually, I was about to say we get a better geo damage dealer, but we got Noelle, right? And when she has her sword does geo damage. But so we can have that be a setup for Noelle to even do more damage, and also it's a physical debuff, so Noelle would also still benefit from that, because she's a Claymore user that, outside of when she buffs herself with her giant sword, is primarily doing physical damage. So all of that would be great for Noelle. And another thing is this, the radius for this geoconstruct resonation, right? The resonance for this geoconstruct is a bit small, right? This is a small area to try to fight in and keep enemies in, right? Now, another recommendation I have is that the geoconstruct for Zhongli kind of acts as a magnet, right? Pulling, like, anything that's caught within this resonance is pulled closer to the center to where the construct is. And then the more constructs you have, the more like they're pulled towards those constructs. That way they keep taking the resonance damage, because they're constantly getting pulled back into the construct, and they're also like, so they can take multiple resonance damages if you have like everything set up around it, and that way they keep taking the resonance combos. You can have like a better way to just keep your combos within the area of effect that the pillars and the resonance from the other geo statues will have. So I feel like it's just better if like this acted as a magnet and actually pulled the enemies into the pillar, that way making it more viable to do like combos and stuff and keep them within this small area of effect. That way, again, he has some CC with this. And I think the hold E, should do a little bit more damage. I think we can bump up the hold E's damage scaling a little bit. That way, when he does go through with the whole combo of dropping the meteor, having all these geo constructs, then doing the hold E to explode them all and get the shield, he does like an absurd amount of damage, because that's a lot to set up, right? You gotta set up the initial construct, probably quick swap into Ningguang or GeoMC, set up a couple other constructs, then go back into Zhongli, drop the meteor, and then do the hold. And so I feel like if you go through with that entire sequence of events, that entire combo, like you should be rewarded with the not only the damage coming off from the ult, which does it does a good chunk of damage. It's definitely a nice amount of damage. I feel like it could be a little bit more, but it's a nice chunk of damage for what it is. But I think if the hold did more damage, that the ult into hold E combo would be a lot viable as a strategy for Zhongli to be a Geo DPS. That way you're not solely focusing on the fact that he has good synergy with Crescent Pike and can do like really good physical DPS with Crescent Pike. Now if we get both buffs together, right, if we get, I'll say like out of the three things I just mentioned, if we get 2 out of the 3 things, that would give him the sauce. Like, and I think the one thing that should be mandatory on him is that if he does the meteor, you get extra geo damage and extra physical damage. And then you can pick between either letting the hold do more damage or like letting the like little resonance statues like pull enemies towards it, kind of like a magnetism like effect, right? But I would like, honestly, because I feel like in order to make Geo look like appealing to most people, because right now Geo down bad, the entire Geo roster down bad, right? Other than like Noel teams. But other than Noel teams, Geo kind of down bad, and I think Zhongli should have been the prime example of what a Geo DPS could do. Like he could have dropped the meteor, had put a debuff on the enemies where they take extra Geo damage, and then did the hold E, explode all those petrified enemies, and do extra damage because there would have been a debuff for Geo on the enemies. And then on top of having all these Geo, I think they undertuned him, and I think he should be cranked up a bit. I think like we should have like a Geo damage dealer, like a Geo DPS. And I know people are like, oh, but Geo is a support element, and they put up shields. That's their thing. Just because a archetype is normally a defensive archetype does not mean that they cannot have characters that like revolutionize that archetype, that makes us look at that archetype in a different light. While yes, he would still be making the shield, like the J shield with the hold E, and most of his reactions would be crystallized reactions, allowing us to have another shield that unfortunately does not stack, because shields do not stack in this game, does not mean that we cannot have a Geo damage dealer. We need to get out of the mindset that just because a Geo character drops, that there automatically should be a support, and that we should never see like a Geo healer, or well, I guess a healer would also be another form of support, right? Or like we shouldn't have like a Geo damage dealer just because Geo is looked at as the supportive and defensive role. Like we should be able to have different classes within one archetype. So we should be able to have a Geo DPS, a Geo healer, a Geo support, and all of them excel at what they do. And I feel like Zhongli was meant to be a Geo DPS, because a lot of his stuff screams DPS. The scaling on his meteor is pretty nice. Plus, if you ascend him enough, he gets an additional 30% of his max HP as additional damage for his ult. So that could be pretty nice, especially if you have like really good like rolls on some of your artifacts that give you like maybe HP scaling, attack percent, crit damage, and crit rate. Like that would be pretty nice roll for you. So I feel like we need to definitely get out the mindset that just because he's Geo, he should only be support and support only. I feel like that Zhongli should have been the one to revolutionize how we look at Geo characters as a whole, that we could look at them as, yes, like characters who do supportive things like put up a shield, who can play a potential support role, but also characters who can fulfill a DPS or damage role. And like right now, as of right now, I say that Zhongli is just not worth it. He's not worth the investment, because a lot of characters right now can do his job with less investment that it would require for Zhongli to be able to do that job. DPS damage dealers like fucking Diluc, like Razor, like Kaching, like Bennett. Xingshu can even fulfill a damage dealing role.
Quake!
These characters can do that role with less investment than what it would take Zhongli to be able to do that role. Supports like Venti, like Mona, like Fischl, like again Bennett, like Xingshu again. Like they can do that role better than Zhongli with less investment. And that's the problem. This is a 5-star character that's getting outdone by that's being outdone by multiple 4 stars and other 5 stars that are just better for his role. And of course, like some 5 stars are going to be better than others, but like for the most part, a 5-star should be outpacing a 4-star character. Like, it is what it is. Now, a 5-star support character probably wouldn't be outdoing a 4-star DPS character in DPS, but they should be so good at support that it doesn't matter, that you can still see the benefits of having them on your team versus another support. And right now, Zhongli don't got that. Zhongli doesn't have, like, enough sauce in his kit for me to recommend him over other supports in the game. He doesn't have enough sauce in his kit for me to recommend him over other damage dealers in the game. So right now, Zhongli is in a pretty bad state, and I hope that he gets buffed. But as of right now, I can't recommend you pull on the banner unless you're pulling for Razor. If you're pulling for Razor, then yes, pull on the banner. Or if you're pulling for Chongyun, because I needed another ice character other than Kaya, because, like I said, didn't pull on the banner with Fiona in it, because I didn't want Child, because I was saving up my pity for Zhongli, and I was really close to hitting pity, so I didn't want to hit pity just to get Child, which was another reason I didn't pull on that banner. But Chongyun is another ice character that's worth it. I need to actually like level him up, because of course he has like a lot of basic bitch items, because I used all my resources to fucking level up and get fucking Zhongli. But like Zhongyun and Razor are definitely highlights of the banner, and it's unfortunate that the 2 4-stars, because Yin Yang I think is just an okay support. She does excel in some things, but compared to other supports, it's just not worth it. But it's unfortunate that the highlight character, which is supposed to be Xingyang and Zhongli, more so Zhongli, is just there. Like, Zhongli is just so underperforming that his banner isn't worth it unless you're pulling for Razor or you're pulling for Chongyun. Outside of that, his banner is just ass, because he's ass. And he needs a buff. But that's enough of me going on about Zhongli, the things that he can potentially get that would help him be better, the things that I feel like should be done in order to help him. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Moral of the story, or I guess the long story short. There's no moral to the story. So long story short, Zhongli's ass. Don't pull on the banner, man. Save your primo gems for someone. If you want like a better support, save your primo gems till we get a banner with a better support character in it. And if you want a DPS character, just save your like gems for potentially Zhao, if Zhao still plays how he did in like the beta testing. For the most part, just save your gems for like Zhao or like another DPS banner. Because right now, Zhongli doesn't do good in either role, and I just don't recommend him for either role. Now, so that'll end the video. But if you like the content here, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It'll help me out greatly, and I'll greatly appreciate it. Also, if you want to follow me, I do stream every day on Twitch. I stream a variety of games. It's been a lot of Genshin and Godfall as of right now, but I do stream other things like Dragon Ball FighterZ, Super Smash Brothers, other things of that nature. So please leave a follow on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/quintessentialq. Link will be in the description below. Also follow me on Twitter. Link for that will also be in the description below. But I'll catch y'all on the next one. Just remember, Zhongli is ass. But deuces.